Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we're going to do another 4K review, in this case the Arrow video release for Roadhouse. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review. Today we're going to check out this release for Roadhouse, recently coming out from Arrow Video. But before we dive into the review, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in physical media, especially Blu-ray reviews and physical media related talk. Besides that, you can also find me on Instagram, which has the same handle, Physical Media EU, for detailed photos of all the items that I review. Now yes, we can dive into the release of Roadhouse from Arrow Video, which as you can see has this very nice slipcover. So once we remove it, we find the traditional Blu-ray case for 4K discs, which has on the front the same artwork, and on the back also the description of the movie and also all the included bonus features that we will go over a little bit deeper in the video. And as you can see, so far this release differs from the traditional release from Arrow Video, which includes a thicker booklet and also a poster and this more firm like a full slipcover case. I really like this type of releases. I feel it's a little bit of a shame that Roadhouse didn't get this kind of treatment, because I think it's a movie that deserves it. But with that said, let's move on to the review. The first thing to mention here is that the art is reversible. So if you like the original art, you can put this one in. And because the 4K cases are completely black and not transparent, many times I think it's a detail that can be missed, so it's good to mention it. I think it's a little bit of a shame also that this is not more evident. Now moving on to the interior, here we find a nice detail included in this release, which is actually a coaster from the bar of the movie. There you can see it more in detail. It's the same on both sides. I think this is very nice that is included. And funny enough, it's not the first time this year that Arrow includes a coaster in a release. The other time was in the Inglourious Basterds set. You can find my review of that release in the link up here in the corner. And now let's take these ones out. And here we find a booklet, but as you can see, it's nowhere as big as the ones in the traditional releases. You can see there, it's much smaller. So it has 23 pages. Here you can see the contents of it. And what is important to mention here is this part about the presentation. So let me read that real quick. It says Roadhouse is presented in its original 2:39:1 aspect ratio with 5.1 and stereo audio. The film is presented in 4K resolution in HDR10 and Dolby Vision. The film was restored by Vinegar Syndrome. The 4K master was supplied by Park Circus. Dolby Vision grading was completed by R3 Store Studios. And it's important that they mention Vinegar Syndrome there. We'll talk about that a little later on the video. So besides the booklet, we can find a double-sided poster, which has the same art that you saw in the cover, but on the other side it includes the original one. So it is a very nice touch. So that's definitely a very nice touch. And if you can see, the paper is quite shiny versus how it has been. And this is the kind of paper that Arrow has been using for the latest releases for the posters. I'm not sure which one I prefer more. I think I like the other one better. I find this one a little thinner and more fragile. But I don't use these posters, I don't hang them, so I'm not entirely sure what people who do that might think of this difference of qualities. Now let's take a look at the discs. Here, this is the 4K disc, and this other one is a Blu-ray, but it's a Blu-ray that has all bonus features. The movie is not in this disc, it's only present in the 4K disc. Now moving on and talking about the contents of the first of the disc, about the movie and the picture quality. In my opinion, the movie looks great in 4K, as expected, I guess, in most cases. I think it is a very nice restoration. And in many cases, it is like this with movies that were recorded on film and they have been well preserved over the years. Most of the time, the 4K restorations are quite successful and can definitely recommend if you're a fan of this movie. The 4K disc also includes several bonus features, but the big majority of them are in this separated disc, which is a Blu-ray that only includes bonus material. Here you can see the list of bonus features. This might be a good time to pause the video if you are interested in reading this more in detail. But the most important ones, in my opinion, are the making of Roadhouse, also a conversation with the director, and most importantly, the one to remember, Patrick Swayze, called A Tribute to Roadhouse iconic lead actor. An important thing to mention about the disc is the region. In this case, the Blu-ray disc is region locked, so be mindful of that when you buy it. In this case, this one is region B. And regarding subtitles, the movie only includes English subtitles, and many of the bonus features don't have subtitles, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And another thing to consider before buying this one is if this is actually the release you want. There's another very nice release, as you can see up here. That's why they're mentioned in the booklet, as I said a couple of minutes ago. This is part of the Vinegar Syndrome Ultra collection, which is this series of releases that have very nice packaging. I have one to show myself here. I have Sidekicks of that same series. You can see it has a very sturdy box, a thicker release, and it opens with a magnet. Which is very nice. And then here you find the movie, which you can see. You can lift this up, and includes a booklet and also the movie within a slipcover, and then the traditional 4K case as the one we just saw from Arrow, right? But it includes this additional case and also a thicker booklet. So in my opinion, if you can get the Vinegar Syndrome version, might be better. So in my opinion, I like the Vinegar Syndrome version better than the Arrow one, but of course there's a difference in price. It's more difficult to find. So the Arrow video for sure has its own benefits, but if it was the same, I would go with the Vinegar Syndrome version. And that's all for the review. I hope you liked it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also check out for photos on Instagram. Remember, it has the same handle, Physical Media EU. And lastly, I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched this movie in 4K already. What do you think of it? And if you're planning to getting one of these 4K releases. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dogs.